Another weekend of the NBA Summer League is in the books. Cart, we have individual kind of first look player breakdowns of a few players that we saw this weekend. Terrence Shannon, Donovan Clingan, and Reed Shepherd are those three players. You can watch those on the channel if you want further in-depth thoughts. But there were a lot of other players that also played this weekend, and I want to just kind of throw it to you for broad takeaways, good and bad, from what you saw this weekend. What do you got?
So, I don't know if you feel the same way, and you probably don't. But overall, I think the basketball has been better than I expected in summer league. And I don't know
Yeah.
if it's because maybe there's a lot more older guys kind of playing. I think there's a good amount of third year guys and second year, guys with a lot of experience that are playing in summer league. But I think the overall product of it has been a lot better than I expected. But I haven't really seen anything that necessarily surprised me, I guess I would say. It was good to see Cody Williams finally have a good game. I know you talked about Cody Williams being the best. What was it? I've never seen a player of his caliber be invisible so much. Was
Yeah,
that
be a less noticeable good player.
a less noticeable good play? He was finally noticeable, which was really good. Obviously, we had a video on our channel. I've been impressed with Stephon Castle. Thought he was really good. One that I don't know if got talked about enough. Were you able to see Grady Dick when he
He,
went against the OKC Thunder?
I watched highlights. He was great in that game. Very good.
He did a
Yeah.
lot. I had a bet on the Raptors in that game, so I was locked in for the whole time on that game.
Did you see
And
what he did the next game, by the way?
no, what did he do?
I saw like a bunch of Grady Dick is going to be way more than a shooter very soon. In game two, he had 4 points and 0 assists on 2 for 9 from the field, 0 for 5 from three.
Okay, we don't like that because he was on triple double watch in the first game. He had 18, 10,
Yeah.
and 6, which I was
Yeah.
very impressed with.
I'm sorry,
But
0 assists. 4 points and 0 assists, if I
oh,
didn't say that clear enough.
that's tough.
Yeah.
But outside of that, you know, I'm seeing things from the rookies, even guys like Risacher, actually look good. So and Sarr looked good as well. So I'm kind of
Ah,
you're cutting me off there.
I strongly disagree on a couple of those points.
Which one?
Sarr looked good.
He had some moments.
Sarr looked good.
He had some moments that I like.
Did he have moments or did he look good?
Moments.
Alex Sarr today, game two,
We're
uh,
not talking about today. We're not talking about today.
8 points on 14 shots, 0 for 5 from three.
I wasn't really talking about today.
Well, I'm just making sure we can go back to the game the other day too. Like it's not that much prettier. It was
I
okay.
He had moments that I
He
can
had
see,
12 points on 12 shots, seven
but
rebounds, 32 minutes.
I can see why teams thought so highly of him though, given the moments.
I can't.
You're completely out, opposite of it.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
Um,
that's fine.
yeah, I think Risacher. How are we what are we going with for him? ZR? We can't
I'm
just like
saying,
botch his name over and over again collectively,
is
right?
it Rice? Is it what is it?
Right,
Do you know?
Risacher, Risacher. I feel like Riley Davis always says Risacher.
Could we just call him Zachary?
Yeah, Zaccharie. So Zaccharie in game one was way ahead of what I thought he would be. Like
Mhm.
way ahead. And he attempted 16 shots. I love that. He got 18 points. He hit 3 threes, 3 for 9 from three. He had 2 assists, though, including that one like behind the back dribble, turn behind the back kick to the corner. I just thought he looked the part and the eye test a lot more than I expected of like, okay, he's a dude. Like even if he doesn't pan out and he's not a star, he's like a dude who can get his own shot, get to his spots, and just kind of carries himself like in a super confident way. And then in game two, he had 11 points on 12 shots, 1 for 7 from the floor. I still think he carries himself like a dude, but I think he's just gonna like have a lot of volume shooting games. And I don't know that I think like his first shot on the first night was like an air ball. He had a couple air balls, and like the shots he makes are really pretty. I think he processes the game well, but I think he's kind of like a chucker. It kind of reminds me of like a smaller Michael Porter Jr. who doesn't know what he's doing yet. And there's clear skill, but I still don't know that I see first, like based on what you've seen from Stephon Castle and Reed Shepherd. Did Zaccharie deserve to go 1 in this
Oh no,
draft?
no, 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 no.
That's like I still don't get how we like landed on the concept that that guy was the guy in this draft.
Yeah, I don't get it either. My main takeaway was I thought he'd be way worse. Like
Okay.
when I saw him in these first two games.
Okay.
And I'm talking about like at like some of the worst summer league. I thought we were gonna get like some of the worst summer league performances we've seen,
Yeah.
and we haven't got that. So I guess that leaves me impressed.
I mean, I was ready to hate watch it for sure, and he did like positively impress me. But like, it's hard for me to sit back and see what Castle and Shepard are doing, and to a lesser extent, like Edie did. And we're sitting here like, oh yeah, Sarr and Risacher were the guys, huh? Okay, like it never made any sense to me. It still doesn't make sense. And I know you said you saw moments. I think Sarr has been a disaster. That's my read. I thought he was very ghost-like in the first game. He ended up with decent numbers, but there really weren't times in that game where I felt he was imposing his will. It looked like the game was playing him. He clearly like has an NBA level frame, but he's kind of just like in the play. He's on the court. He's on the court as things are happening. He's not like driving the action. Man, you heard me say this in the pre-draft a bazillion times. You probably know what I'm going to say. He has a massive hitch in his jumper. He has a massive hitch in his jumper. It's massive. And he's 2 for 10 from 3. He's attempted 5 threes in both games. It's obviously a small sample size. He was 2 for 5 in game 1. I was like, oh, okay, at least the shot's going in. He's 4 for 12 from the floor. He was 0 for 5 in game 2. They're bad misses. Like I don't buy that this guy is like a legitimate shooting threat. I think he has a hitch in his jumper and he can shoot them, but he hasn't been close to the best player on the Wizards. The best player on the Wizards has been Bub Carrington by like a lot. And credit to Bub, he's my most positive. He's my biggest winner of the weekend. I think he looks stellar. He had the same moment where with Pitt, he waltzed on the court his first game and almost had a triple double in college. Did the same thing in his first summer league game. Like that's awesome. I believe in Bub Carrington. He passes the eye test. I don't think it's good for Washington that the guy they like tried to maneuver their way to get second overall looks worse than Bub Carrington.
I feel like I got a pull for Sarr though. I don't know if anyone is.
I think you attaching yourself to Sarr to like go to war for him is on brand, I think.
But okay, but also in that game that you mentioned, like, that he was 2 for 5 for 3, 7 boards, 4 assists, 4 blocks.
Yeah, 1 more board than Johnny Davis in 5 more minutes, 2 less boards than Bub Carrington in 1 more minute.
How many more blocks than them?
He blocked some shots, man. He did
He did block some shots, less turnovers too.
Than Johnny Davis, no.
Okay. Also, why is Johnny Davis playing this summer? Also, a couple guys that I'd like to just go ahead and shut it down for a bit. Jaime Jaquez, you don't need to play in summer league. I don't think you needed to play in the first place. You don't need to play anymore. You've earned the right to sit down. I get it. Your Heat culture. I want to hoop. I love basketball. I'll die for this. You're good. You're good. You don't got to play anymore. Brandon Miller, you also don't have to play. A couple guys who I'd like to just let's stop the charade.
Don't we want good players to play summer league though, or no?
We want good players, not too good.
Or do we want bad players to play summer league because we know more about the bad players than the sports books?
Yeah.
That seems fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. Give me a biggest winner and a biggest loser from the summer league weekend.
Can't pick any of the guys we already talked about.
No, it can be guys we already talked about. Just summarize it, Spark Notes version.
I'm gonna go with Terrence Shannon. I know it was Big Ten heavy, but I'm gonna go Terrence Shannon. I was very impressed, offensively and defensively. Getting him at 27, I believe it was, for the Timberwolves is gonna end up looking like a real steal. Most disappointed. I'll let you talk me off the ledge if you need to, but I was fairly disappointed with just the Pistons in general. It was just a very lackluster game.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about him. It was fine.
Okay.
Like Clintman is our best player. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Ron
right.
Holland. Ron Holland's an athlete who has an okay mid range and has tunnel vision. Okay. My biggest winner is Jordan Miller. I can't believe we haven't talked about him yet.
He went stupid.
He had 36 points in game one. He had 21 points on Sunday in game two. Killer. Jordan Miller is an absolute stud in Summer League right now. I didn't expect it at all. I didn't know this was his game. This wasn't his game in college whatsoever. I love him. I love watching him right now. He is by far the biggest winner of the weekend to me. He was a superstar. The biggest loser is a sad one, and it's not comical in any way. Deron Holmes.
Yeah.
Really, really sad, especially after the team like went out of their way to try and get him, and like in the pre-draft, it's like they want him, and then they got him, and then now it's just over before it even starts. It's a bummer.
Yeah. Bad part about summer league
Yeah.
injuries.
Thoughts and prayers with Duran, obviously. We have more summer league this week, Card. Are you excited or tired or angry?
I'm excited. I'm excited.
I think I'm tired.
I,
Card, you know what I love about you?
That I'm handsome?
You're reliable. I can count on you. Honestly, you remind me of Aaron Henry a little bit. Remember when their back was against the wall, nothing was going right, and man just showed up every day. He didn't make excuses. There were no problems. There were just solutions.
Sounds like me.
That's you. And it also reminds me of Duncan Mechanical Solutions, because if you're looking for quality furnace repair, look no further than the heating and air experts that you can trust. Comfort and quality are their standard. They're an HVAC company that serves Northeast Indiana and Southern Michigan, whether it's heating and air conditioning, plumbing, kitchen and bath remodeling, or emergency services when you need them most. Duncan Mechanical Solutions has reliable service that you can count on. Cart, remember when your basement almost exploded?
I remember when my basement almost exploded. I remember when my furnace itself was acting funny. I remember when my AC was acting funny. I wish I had Duncan in my back pocket. I wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been anywhere in northern Indiana or southern Michigan that hasn't been perfectly cool or perfectly warm, depending on when the day called for. And that's because of Duncan Mechanical Solutions. They are the presenting sponsor for the month of July. Shout out to Duncan Mechanical Solutions. Go to duncanmechanicalsolutions.com to learn more.